I'm lucky enough to be joined today by Matt from Concord, usually spending your time in Austria, eh?
Yeah, but I pop down here as often as I can.
Choice. And you've been playing a few gigs around the place. I know you played that show in Auckland about a week or so ago at the platform.
Yeah, first time there. It's a new space. I think it's been open about a month or so.
Yeah.
So it was good to get in there and try and, break everything and make a mess. And
How did you find it?
yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
It's always a bit weird. Drum and bass often tends to have like one home in Auckland at a point in time. Sometimes two.
Yeah.
But as compared to house music or rock music, which can be spread around a bit more, it tends to have a sort of spiritual home. But that's it now. So it's always going to be interesting going there for the first time, but it seems to be good.
I've been talking on NZOWN and with a couple of other interviews with also the State of Mind guys about how it seems that a lot of drum and bass venues are shutting down. Are you finding that?
Well, I don't really know because I'm only really back here twice a year.
Right, yeah.
And there's always somewhere for me to play.
Okay, well that's lucky then, eh?
So, but they're here all the time, so maybe they probably know more about these things than I do.
You've got Sandwiches in Wellington that's gone, and there's one in Christchurch, I think, Ministry that's gone, and then Coherence that used to be up on K Road, and then Phil and Zen is gone.
Yeah, it's kind of a little odd because, drum and bass is probably as big as it's ever been in New Zealand at the moment. But yeah, a lot of those things are circumstantial too. Like there's earthquake stuff involved with both Sandwiches and Ministry.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And all these things will add up.
Well, I was going to ask what it's like then overseas at the moment, just going stronger as ever. Yeah,
different sub flavors of within drum and bass. It's like our rock music's been around for a really long time now, but there's, I don't know, maybe psychedelic rock isn't as big as it used to be.
Totally, it comes a ways. You've got that real kind of MGMT electric sound that's coming through, and dirty old rock isn't really as prominent, I guess.
So there's little sub flavors kind of coming to the rise and stuff, but all in all, the thing's really healthy. And
awesome.
You always sort of find, at one point in time, maybe people are digging you more in Spain, and so there'll be a year when you go to Spain 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, right.
And then other years you'll go to Russia 6 or 7 times, and just depends on where the wind's blowing, I guess.
Talking about then sub-flavours as such, how does it work with you when you're writing? Do you find that you kind of bring in little bits here and there, or you still stay with the same kind of idea, or what's been happening with Concord lately?
I've kind of been all over the place. Moonlighting, which was the last single, was kind of a disco track, and that's not even something that's particularly fashionable or anything. I just always wanted to make a disco kind of drum and bass track.
Yeah, wicked.
So I did.
Well, tell me about this track with Tali, Moonlighting. How did that come about? Are you doing that thing as where you email back and forth and it's done over the internet, being in Austria?
Yeah, well, it wasn't even so much back and forth. I've always wanted to work with her. She's she's been around for ages and all that, but for a very long time she had an exclusive deal with Full Cycle and Ronnie Size and that whole crew.
Yeah.
So no one was allowed anywhere near her.
Right. Yeah.
Now that that's expired and she's back in New Zealand doing her own stuff and working on different projects, it's possible. And she'd done some stuff with Trey, a friend of mine from Wellington, and I thought it sounded really cool, so I was like, let's do something together. And
choice.
So we did, but in terms of backwards and forwards, I pretty much wrote most of pretty much the whole track, and then I sent it to her, and then she did all the vocals, and then she sent it back to me, and I finished it off.
So easy.
It was a very short game of tennis.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Are you still working with Nina McSweeney as well, that you've done some work with her in the past?
Not on drum and bass stuff, but we have a whole new project, just the two of us.
Get out of here, really?
Yeah, it's based on erotic horror movies from Italy in the 1970s. 60s, 70s and 80s. This is true, yeah, they're called giallo movies.
Amazing.
They're a whole subgenre. Usually a masked killer.
Yeah.
Mostly stabbings, but sometimes stranglings or garottings. And usually scantily clad, sort of beautiful victim.
Nightgown and stuff being all tote.
Like that, yeah.
Yes.
Pretty much, you know what I'm talking about. So it's kind of like a cross between that and early Wu-Tang Clan and sort of Portishead, I guess. So it's kind of trip-hoppy.
This sounds amazing. Have you got a name, a title?
At the moment, it's tentatively called giallo, which is the name of the genre.
I'm very much looking forward to this. I don't think you can almost make that up if you tried. It's awesome.
No, that would have been an elaborate lie, wouldn't it? Let's be honest.
Indeed. Well, we're going to go and check out the video clip for Moonlighting, but before we do, you are going to be coming back as well for a few shows?
Yeah, I already thinking about New Zealand, I'm starting to miss it already. So I'm going to come back at the end of the year, do Northern Bass on the 30th, something that I will tell you about later on the 31st.
Okay, so we can't disclose this yet, obviously?
No, and I'll be around, there's already a couple of festivals sort of beginning of March and things, so things are starting to...
Cool.
The calendar fills up next year already, it's a bit scary.
Man, you've got to work in advance these days, though, you know. Cool. All right. Well, thank you very much, Matt, for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
And enjoy the flight back to Austria. We're going to go check out right here. Oh, but before we do, EP coming out.
Yeah, that's going to be out in about 6 or 7 weeks, depending roughly on when this airs and exactly when it's all finished. But roughly sort of September-ish.
We'll keep an eye out on Facebook page, perhaps?
Yeah, Facebook, I tell people what's happening there. And
brilliant. Okay, I'm very much looking forward to it. Thank you. And here it is. It's Moonlighting featuring Tali.